Good morning, Collaboration Cures. I'm Julie Gregory, and I'm very honored to be introducing your keynote speaker, Dr. Dale Bredesen. Although for anyone who follows Alzheimer's news, he likely needs little introduction. Dr. Bredesen is the first and only Alzheimer's researcher and physician who is actually offering a treatment for early stage Alzheimer's disease that works. I know because I've been following his protocol for over 10 years now, and my cognition today is better than it was 20 years ago. When I turned 50, I learned that I carried 2 copies of the ApoE4 allele, which put me at the highest genetic risk of developing Alzheimer's. This knowledge forced me to take a hard look at my cognition, and I recognized I was already showing symptoms. I did some online cognitive testing to corroborate my suspicions, and I was stunned when I scored in the mid-30th percentile. I turned to the Alzheimer's Association for help, and they informed me that Alzheimer's couldn't be prevented, it couldn't be treated, it couldn't be cured, and that most people are dead within 10 years of symptom onset. As you can imagine, I was terrified. I finally got up the courage to speak with the most esteemed neurologist in my area in an effort to find help. I shared my symptoms with him, my high genetic risk, and I asked him what I could do to turn things around. Want to know what he said? Good luck with that. That is all that mainstream medicine had to offer in 2012. After a very dark period, I began to pay attention to this feeling that wouldn't go away, this gut feeling. I suspected they were all wrong. I knew that at age 50, I could heal if I could just find ways to support my brain. I threw all of my energy into finding a treatment, not only for myself, but for all of the ApoE4 carriers in the world who, thanks to organizations like 23andMe, were newly learning of their high genetic risk. I ultimately founded a nonprofit called apoe4.info to find strategies to address and prevent the pathologies associated with the ApoE4 allele. And along with other gene carriers, we searched for answers. We read every paper we could find. We consulted experts. We ran our own N-of-1 experimentation, anything to find strategies to improve our cognition. And as you can imagine, I applied every strategy that I learned about to better support my brain. I changed my diet. I changed the way I exercised. I optimized my sleep. I began a meditation practice to manage stress. I engaged in daily brain training to stimulate my brain. I focused on detoxifying my body by only eating and drinking clean food and water, and even using non-toxic skin products. I began taking targeted supplements. I also began tracking and tweaking many biomarkers: vitamin D, homocysteine, fasting glucose, fasting insulin, HbA1c, and more. And after 1 year of intensively applying these strategies, my cognition dramatically improved. I repeated the same cognitive testing that I had struggled with 1 year earlier, and this time my scores rose from the mid-30th percentile to the mid-90th percentile. Around that time, I found Dr. Bredesen's seminal paper, Reversal of Cognitive Decline, a Novel Therapeutic Program. I was blown away just to know that a well-respected Alzheimer's researcher believed that this approach was possible. In this paper, he described 8 out of 10 case studies that had also dramatically improved their cognition following the same strategies that I and members of my APOE4 community have been using. Dr. Bredesen's paper confirmed my personal experience. And in a much smaller way, my journey confirmed Dr. Bredesen's approach. I sent an email to him letting him know about my story. I also told him about my APOE4 group. And we spoke on the phone that same day, and we've been collaborating together ever since. I was very honored to help Dr. Bredesen and his integrative physician wife, Dr. Aida Lishing Bredesen, write the handbook portion of the End of Alzheimer's program. And that offered a step-by-step instructional on how to prevent and reverse Alzheimer's disease. I'm also honored to work with Dr. Bredesen at Apollo Health, where I serve as the Chief Health Liaison, creating educational materials for our community. In an effort to save my life, I've vetted many researchers and many pharmaceuticals, and none have come close to offering a treatment that actually works. From firsthand experience and after witnessing hundreds of people that have also recovered, I am so pleased to introduce Dr. Dale Bredesen, the first to offer real hope for Alzheimer's disease.